this is easy, easy. Got 'em excited to meet me, meet me. I got diamonds, you got CZs, CZs. Whip, get to it and repeat, repeat. Hey, I ain't hearing nothing haters say. Let them talk about us. My whole crew is about 100 deep. Gotta walk around it. I kill it and then I walk away. Put the chalk around it. I just get low key and watch them talk about it, yeah.
The third and final week of the preseason is here. A fourth exhibition game is a thing of the past. It's the Dolphins and the Jags, next on Madden Football.
He originally opened in 1995 as Jacksonville Municipal Stadium when his franchise entered the NFL. We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. Tonight, the final dress rehearsal, week 3 of the preseason. And we got a good matchup on tap, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
Two teams on opposite ends of the Sunshine State. The Jags and Dolphins are underway. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations leaving high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and he's doing everything in his power to follow through.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now Lawrence to throw on second down. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 18 yards, a big pickup there on third down. First down carry here for Johnson. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Play action. It's Lawrence. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Lawrence. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. What a methodical drive. This is turning out to be that time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
The kick by McManus is good, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So they'll likely get a few more drives before we see the second team, but a good start for the first unit with 3 points.
Yeah, good start, and now they want to see them build on it because you're exactly right. They'll get a few more drives at this stage of the preseason. Can they continue to evolve and add to what we just saw in the first drive?
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Dolphins set to go on offense for the first time behind their 25-year-old quarterback, now in his 4th NFL season, Tua Tagovailoa.
Every quarterback in the NFL has a little bit of his own signature style out there, but for this guy, he really plays the game in a different way. It's led to a couple double takes from us up here as we see him as something truly unique. It's not that he's just the strongest passer or the best athlete to ever play the position. He just has a certain way of seeing the action, and it allows him to make some special plays out there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Tua. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Personal foul, roughing the passer to the defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because they had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Here's Mostert. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Two and now, 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Mike McDaniel, no hesitation on his end. He's telling his offense to go for 2. The 2 are going to try and throw for it. And that is caught for the 2 points. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Balled at the 26, 2nd and 7. Again, it's Johnson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
On 2nd down, Lawrence. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And still about 3 yards shy of a 1st as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Still 3rd down.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on third down. On play action, here's Tua. And that will be incomplete. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. Fourth down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
The kick by Sanders is good. And that'll push the lead to 11-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Here's a give to Bigsby. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt.
Come on, guys, let's make a play here. Keep moving.
It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 54 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. And that flag accepted. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Open man downfield is Waddle. He's got it. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A run with Mostert up the middle. Pushes past him. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Off of play action, Tagovailoa getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Week 3 of the preseason is here. Everyone wrapping up their exhibition schedule. No games for the league on Labor Day weekend, and then it all begins. The 17-game regular season gets underway on the Thursday after Labor Day with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive, something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Our starters likely to be out there for the 3rd quarter as we get back underway in this 2nd half. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 86 yards rushing now for Mostert as he picks up a 1st down. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this 3rd quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the 2nd half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the 3rd quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. It's a gain of 34.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. This is Mostert. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. He showed his shiftiness and his explosion to take him all the way down near the goal line.
Love that description, and it creates momentum. Maybe you hand it to him again since he's got it going, or do you fake it to him and throw it to a teammate? Right now, the options are wide open.
Mostert fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. They'll run with Mostert. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Brandon, now we find out what their definition of commitment is. They've run it on the first 2 plays. Do they come back and do it again? They're that much closer to getting into the end zone.
Yeah, inching closer and really knocking on the door now. Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tua and the Dolphins offense staying put. They'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. To return, here's Agnew. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
At the 25-yard line.
Here's Bigsby. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Lawrence. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Jalen Phillips coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's Logan Cook now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Here's Hill on the return. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. The Dolphins on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Now White on 4th down. A short throw there. That's to Smythe, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Now White with a first down throw. Throwing left side, it's complete.
Pass interference. Defense.
So they'll, of course, decline the pass interference there and wisely take the yardage.
And I think defensively he's saying, I was getting away with that in the first half. Why are you making that call now? But to me, that one was pretty easy to see. I don't understand what he's upset about. I think it was the correct call.
Now they'll hand it off to Wilson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. All-around great play by Devin Lloyd, using his athleticism to get to the backfield and his strength to stop him for a loss. Another run for Wilson on second. Down right around the 25. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. This is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 23 yards on the play. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Wilson will score. Touchdown, Miami.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And taken right at the 35. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Dolphin football. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
White now on first down. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the 4th quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Ruling on the field stands.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. To throw, White. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
Here's Beathard to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And that one results in 35 yards.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Here's Beathard to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown.
To kick off for the Jaguars.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down.
A gain of 16 yards.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Wide off play action.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.
Well, this was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute, both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Jacksonville, good night, everybody.
the act. And run it back, you see how I act, nothing I lack. Feeling like a fatal heart attack, I'd die for that. I don't stress about it, I think less without it. I'ma cut out anything that's in my psyche. Feeling myself high key, running back, let me have it back. I'ma cut out anything that's in my psyche. Feeling myself high key.
Yes, like that, like that, like that. Told her might be right back, right back, right back. Oh yes, like that, like that, like that. I told her might be right back, right back, right back.
Run it back. Told him put the money in the bag, double that. Run it back. Told him put the money in the bag, double that, double that.
Run it back,